Yo, it's your boy Dctree, and this is Dctree-Nation, the channel on YouTube that covers hoops and heroes. And today we're talking hoops. We're talking my boy Devin Better, y'all. And I gotta tell you, man, I had to make this video, and this is no means a video to bash Keldon Johnson, not at all. But don't underestimate Devin Better. He could easily be the best player on the Spurs this season. He's hella underrated, like Shang-Chi. He's more underrated than Superman was that time.
Not impressed.
Because he's easy to forget about, man. He does his job. He's not super flashy. And I'm telling you, man, I love Keldon Johnson, and Keldon Johnson's going to go hard this year. But don't forget about Devin Better. He got that hidden potential like Magneto does. Because you got to remember, man, Devin Better has a complete game. His game is complete. Not saying he's a perfect player, not saying he's there yet, but he has a well-rounded game. He can shoot, he can defend, he has long range, he has mid-range, he can dunk the basketball, he can take it to the basket. He has all those skill sets. And as of this video, I'm not sure Keldon Johnson quite has a handle on his offensive game as far as poise and polish, if that makes sense. You know, he's still a little rugged, a little rough around the edges. There's a reason why we call him the Mustang. It's because he's kind of wild when he goes to the basket, kind of quirky, almost like Manu. Of course, he's, you know, kind of worked on his game as far as getting open three-pointers, but those open three-pointers are going to dry up with him being the best player, you know, at least one of the best players on the team. Murray isn't along, you know, around anymore to give him them open looks. So when I think about that, Vassell does seem like a better polished player when it comes to the offensive end, because he can create his own shot with more frequency. Not saying Keldon can't do that, but Keldon does seem like he struggles a little bit, or he has to work a little bit harder than Vassell, who can just pull up from mid-range, run around a couple screens, aka Rip Hamilton from Detroit back in the day and the Washington Wizards. You know, Vassell seems a little bit more of a natural than Keldon Johnson. Now, with that said, Keldon Johnson could be putting in that super work this summer and come and shut me the hell up, which I would gladly be shut the hell up. Because at the end of the day, all this is speculation, man. We're trying to guess what will happen in a season that's unprecedented for the Spurs. This is probably the first super rebuild type season, super semi, you know, tank season we've had in over 20 years, you know, since like 96, you know, when we got Tim Duncan. So I'm guessing here. But when I think of Vassell, when I think about what he brings to the table, when I think about this being year 3 for him, you know, you gotta really think, yo, this dude is trying to make his mark. This guy is trying to, you know, put his stamp on the franchise. This guy is really going to take that leap and be great. He comes to mind. Not saying Keldon can't do that, but like I said before, you know, Devin Better seems to have the skill set on both ends of the floor that can really facilitate him as the best player. I mean, I think he's a better defender than Keldon. Now, granted, you know, they have Keldon playing the power forward for a couple years, which I have been, you know, very against, because he's undersized even in today's NBA. So maybe if you move Keldon to the small forward, his defense would improve. Not saying it's been bad, but maybe it'll improve. But Vassell's a better defensive player, and he's a better all-around offensive player. So it makes sense to think he may take a bigger leap than Keldon Johnson. Now, with all that said, man, this is still the NBA, and it is a business. Keldon Johnson just signed a huge contract that's front-ended, so he's going to make more money next year than he will in the 3 remaining years of the contract. Now, I've had an issue with that from a, you know, just from a futuristic standpoint, because if he does blow up, he's going to be drastically underpaid. But with that said, with him getting front loaded, that's going to motivate him to play harder. That's going to motivate the coaching staff to give him an opportunity to play harder. So with that said, you know, he's probably going to get more touches than anybody. He's probably going to get more opportunities than anybody, because the last thing you want to do is ruin your best player's confidence. You know, he got that big contract. Everyone knows he has the big contract. So as a player, ego-wise, you want to perform. You want to be the leader. You want to prove to everyone that you earned that contract, that you deserve that contract. So with that said, he's going to get more opportunities than Vassell at this point in his career, if we're being honest. At the end of the day, this video is pure speculation. I just want to make a video giving Vassell his props and letting the fan base know, reminding the fan base, yo, Vassell has a shot at being one of the best players on this team, if not the best player on the team. His skill set, his youth, his relentlessness, his defensive prowess will be, you know, showcased next season. Can't wait to see it. Doesn't matter if it's Keldon or Vassell, both these players are going to shine. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Check me out in the comments, and I will check you out in the next one. Peace.